Hello, YouTube. You know, every now and then when I watch videos here on YouTube, I come across these Christian scare tactics. Basically, they're videos made by Christians and they're telling you don't get involved in the occult. Because if you get involved in the occult, you're going to get involved in pornography, you're going to get involved in demon possession, you're going to get possessed by the devil or demonic forces, or you're going to start committing murder, or your life is just plain, you just going to go to hell or whatever. And basically, this is Christian scare tactics. I think what happens a lot of times is when people first start getting into the occult, it usually happens when they're teenagers or young adults. And what happens is they don't have any experience with this, they don't have any teachers, and one of the first things they do is get a Ouija board and go to some abandoned house and try to conjure spirits there or whatever. Or the worst thing they could do is to stay in their own house and go in their basement and, just ask random questions and try to get in touch with the spirit world. And the thing is that when you do something like that, there's no telling what will come through that board. Now, of course, this is all subjective. You can make an argument that all they're doing is tapping into the subconscious of the mind, and they're really talking to themselves. Or you can say that they're really fooling themselves. They're really moving the board subliminally by themselves, or their friend is also moving the Ouija board if they're using that, or something like that. So it is, there's a certain degree of it being subjective. A lot of times, what kids would do would go to a graveyard, and they'll do things that are really, really disrespectful of the dead. And especially when you do that, there are consequences. I'm not talking about that because I've known people who have done that and they've had negative experiences from doing that, and they don't do it anymore. Some of these people, of course, they gone and back to Jesus or back to the church or whatever. Most of them have been smart enough to learn the errors of their ways and completely change. But there are some that convert back or whatever, or go to talk to their local minister or whatever. But for the most part, from the people that I know, we regard this um, as Christian scare tactics. When Christians tell you that whenever you contact anything from the other side, be it your ancestors or helpful spirits or whatever, that they're always, and I will put this in quotations, always demons. And that is not the case. For me personally, I work with the ancestors, and I work with the god and the goddess. But I haven't, for the most part, had any kind of negative experiences. And basically, it's because I'm smart. I don't mean to sound arrogant or anything like that, but if you're in a dark room or in an abandoned house and you're calling on just about any spirit that's out there, I want to know the spirit of the person who killed his wife. Are you around? That's, to me, is just completely stupid, and you're just asking for trouble. And whenever you do a ritual of that sort, it's like being in a room with a bunch of people that you don't know and having a flashlight. Everyone's going to look towards you. The good people, the bad people, the people who want to mug you, the people who want to rape you, the people who mean you ill will. So that's, to me personally, that's something that I don't do. Now, I'm not saying that no one should go out and do ghost hunting or anything like that, I'm not saying that ghost hunters or people who are involved in the paranormal should stop trying to contact the other side. It's the way that you do it. You don't disrespect the dead, and you just don't call on anything. It's stupid, basically. I've always felt that there's this concept called divine dignity. And when I mean divine dignity, I should probably say, um, what's the word? Diabolical dignity, too. Divine dignity is a term you learn when you take philosophy at your local university, or if you study it on your own. Divine dignity is basically saying, you pray to God and you get an answer. It doesn't necessarily come from God. It comes from an angel or a messenger of God. It might even come from a friend or a relative or whatever. It doesn't come directly. God is not going to come down personally and say, "Hi, I'm here to help you out." I'm pretty sure He has other things to do. So that's the concept of divine dignity. He's busy. He has other things to do, so He has His servants, His angels, or whatever, to help you out. Diabolical dignity would be the devil's too damn busy to care about you. Why would he want to possess you? I mean, that's a pretty big statement. When someone says, "I was possessed by the devil," it's like, well who are you? Why does the devil have an interest in you? If he's going to possess somebody, he's going to probably possess someone better off than you. Unless you're, a politician or someone who really is making a mark in this world. He's not going to possess some, stupid kid somewhere out in no man's land, just for the fun of it. And if the devil was going to possess someone, the whole thing with the devil foaming at the mouth, or a demon foaming at the mouth, crawling around on the floor, making weird animal sounds, is just completely stupid to me. So diabolical dignity would say that the devil's too busy, and personally, if there are demons, they probably have better things to do, and they're probably more intelligent than we think they are, I guess. I'm pretty sure the Christians would say this too, and the last thing they want to do is inhabit a human body. They have other things to do. Now, I'm not saying that people are never possessed, but you don't necessarily have to go to a church to get rid of that. But this is something that I think is rare. People like Bob Larson would say it happens all the time, but I doubt that. I think the guy is a charlatan, if you ask me. But I think it is something pretty rare. And if you do get possessed and start foaming at the mouth and start doing all these weird things on the floor or whatever, it probably isn't a demon or anything like that. It's probably you've got in touch with, or something entered your body, like a raw animal or something. Or it might be that you're having a seizure, or it might be that you're having a mental breakdown or something of that nature. This is all subjective, of course. There's no real way to prove this. I mean, you can believe it yourself, but belief in something that is truly fact. I mean, that's two different things. I believe in spirits, and I believe in contacting the dead, and I believe it's possible. But my belief is probably subjective as far as how it relates to you. And so I'm not trying to convince you or saying that this is the gospel truth or whatever. So basically I'm saying, if there are any demons or whatever, what's the point of trying to possess a body, I'm pretty sure they even have other things to do, even, if they exist or not. And another thing, I don't want to get too far off subject, but another thing that always puzzled me was the fact that when these so-called demons, when they do enter your body, they make you do yoga. At least that's how it is in Hollywood. There's one movie, I believe it was called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, or something to that effect. There's one scene where she gets possessed by some demon, and it's late at night, and her roommate turns on the light, and her roommate, when she turns on the light, she sees her other roommate, and she's like in this yoga position. And I'm thinking to myself, Hollywood is, there's a faction in Hollywood that's probably trying to send you some type of message that yoga is somehow evil or somehow connected to the devil or whatever. And that is not true. But I think it's kind of funny. I mean, even in the original movie, The Exorcist, the one part that they cut out and then later added with the young girl doing the spider walk down the stairs. The whole act of having your body in this weird position and doing weird things. That's kind of, I just see it as a form of yoga. And the filmmakers are basically trying to tell you that yoga is somehow evil and is tied to the occult, and you should not get involved in it or whatever. So basically, I just want to say this: if you get involved in the occult, you do something stupid, and you go back to your minister, or go back to church, or go running to Jesus. Maybe that's where you should be, because you shouldn't have been involved in the occult in the first place. But as far as witchcraft or the occult being something evil or something that's going to lead you into drugs and demon possession, anything like that, that's a Christian scare tactic. I'm not saying that there are not icky things out there. I'm not saying that there are bad spirits out there. But personally, from my experience, they're few and far between. And if you have any experience, true experience in the occult, you know how to get rid of them. If you're watching this video and you're interested in the occult and you want to get into witchcraft or some faction of the occult, I would recommend this book right here, Psychic Self-Defense by Diane Fortune. It's a great book. I would say read this book first before you do anything. Next, what you should do is get a teacher, someone who can help you along the way, and find a good teacher. Just don't get anyone off the internet or whatever. But anyway, I just want to say that because watching a lot of these videos just kind of bugs me and irks me, and I just think that something should be said about them. As I said before, me personally, when I contact the spirit realm, is for the most part, for me, I contact the ancestors, people who are on the other side, who are looking out for me. That is pretty much what I do. I'm not the type of person who's going to go out and just randomly say, "Hey, spirits, hey, let's talk. I got this board here, and we can chat a little bit." That's not me. Your ancestors are all around you all the time, even if you don't realize it. Those are the people who I like to talk to. I mean, if you do something differently, and you have another style or whatever, I mean, that's you. I mean, that's on you. But for me personally, those are the people who interest me, and those are the people who I like to chat with. All right. So until next time, love is the law. I hope this video was educational. I hope it was. I hope it shed some light on Christian scare tactics and how they try to scare you into not getting involved into the occult. All right, until next time, love is the law, and peace.